Welcome to Into the Margins, where we explore the stories, strategies, and decisions behind profitable businesses to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. I'm Al Donovan, editor at Into the Margins.
And I'm Allison Bennett, business journalist at Into the Margins.
So, when you ask a founder who has just poured their entire life savings, their sweat, all their tears into launching a new business,
Yeah.
and you ask them, who is your product for? They almost always give the exact same, honestly, incredibly dangerous answer.
Right. They say everyone.
Exactly, everyone.
Or, anyone with a wallet. And I mean, I get it. It comes from a place of passion and obviously a desire to scale quickly. But starting with a total addressable market of every human being on earth, that is just the fastest way to burn through your startup capital.
It really is. So for today's deep dive, we are looking at the critical, just absolute importance of knowing your target market.
Yeah.
Because if you are building a business right now, you really need to understand why trying to be everything to everyone is, it's actually a guaranteed recipe for business failure.
100%.
So we are going to explore how identifying your absolute ideal customer fundamentally changes your internal operations, the features you build into your product, and where you choose to invest your marketing budget.
And I think the core business truth we have to establish right up front today is that appealing to everyone really means reaching no one.
Right.
A target market is not just, some marketing concept you brainstorm on a whiteboard for an hour. It is the foundational group of people who are actually most likely to pull out their credit card.
Yeah.
If you don't define exactly who you are growing for, your messaging just becomes completely diluted.
See, I know exactly what you're probably thinking right now listening to this because, I've felt it as a business owner myself.
Oh, sure.
You're wondering if intentionally narrowing your audience means you're basically leaving money on the table.
Right. That's the classic fear.
Exactly. Like if you decide your product is specifically for, left-handed graphic designers who work from home.
You're cutting out 99% of the population.
Yes, you are. And there is a very visceral fear of turning away potential revenue when you are just desperately needing cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you cast the widest net possible?
Because that fear drives companies to water down their value proposition.
Right.
They build a product and a marketing campaign that's designed to, basically not offend or alienate anyone in that giant pool of people.
Right, it's too safe.
Exactly. And when a product is completely generic, it excites absolutely no one.
It becomes like the beige wallpaper of the business world.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Well, think about the operational realities of a restaurant. Let's say a restaurant advertises authentic Japanese sushi, wood-fired Italian pizza, and Texas BBQ.
Oh, the kitchen line would be pure chaos.
Chaos. If a kitchen is trying to boil pasta, smoke a brisket for 12 hours, and safely prepare raw fish.
The cross-contamination risks alone are terrifying.
The supply chain is a total nightmare. The chefs are overworked. The entire business model collapses under its own operational complexity.
Yeah.
But narrowing your audience actually simplifies your internal operations.
Right, because when you specialize, you create experiences that feel tailor-made rather than just, generic.
Yeah.
You build the restaurant that only serves authentic 12-hour simmered ramen, and the people who love ramen, they will drive across town, bypass 50 other restaurants, and wait in line for an hour just to eat there.
Absolutely.
So that level of specificity, it concentrates and accelerates your revenue. It doesn't restrict it at all.
So, if casting a wide net creates operational chaos, we obviously have to find that specific dedicated group of people.
Yes.
But the problem I see is founders often just sit in a conference room, they look at their product, and they make these really wild assumptions about who might like it.
Oh, relying on guesswork is the second major trap. Founders suffer so badly from confirmation bias. They assume the market thinks exactly the way they do. And the only way to find your specific target market is by abandoning those assumptions and diving into hard data. You have to move into a dedicated research phase.
Okay, so let's break down what that research actually entails.
Sure.
Because we usually categorize this data into demographics, psychographics, pain points, buying behavior, and online habits.
Right.
And we don't need to spend much time on demographics.
Right.
You already know you need to understand their basic age bracket, geographic location, income level.
Yeah.
That's basic.
Exactly. That's table stakes.
But the friction usually starts when we get to psychographics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll fully admit, when I first started out, I resisted this heavily.
Really? Why?
Well, I thought, okay, if I'm selling B2B inventory management software, why on earth do I care about a logistics manager's weekend hobbies? or their core values.
Right.
Like, does my inventory software really need to resonate with their lifestyle?
See, but if you stop at demographics, you end up competing purely on features and price. Your marketing message just becomes, buy our software. It tracks inventory accurately.
Which is what everyone else is saying.
Exactly. So does every other software company on the market. But if you uncover the psychographics, their values, their daily realities, you find the actual emotional trigger.
Give me an example of that.
So let's say your interviews reveal that this specific demographic highly values work-life balance, but they feel chronically stressed because their current manual systems force them to work weekends just to catch up.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That shifts the entire pitch. Because then you aren't selling software accuracy anymore. You're selling their weekends back.
Yes.
You change the messaging to, like, our automated software does the heavy lifting so you can leave the office at 5 p.m. on a Friday.
Right. You are tapping into a deeply held value, their personal time, their stress reduction. That turns a super boring B2B software pitch into a highly emotional, compelling solution.
I love that.
Because demographics tell you who your buyers are, but psychographics tell you why they buy.
That's a huge distinction.
Yeah.
So once we understand why they buy through psychographics, we have to look at what's actually stopping them from pulling the trigger. And that's where pain points and buying behavior come in.
Right. Pain points go way beyond surface-level inconvenience. You really have to understand the real cost of that problem in their daily life or their business.
Yeah.
And buying behavior looks at their actual purchasing patterns. Like, what is the sales cycle?
Are there multiple stakeholders involved?
Yes. What makes them hesitate? Are they worried about the learning curve, or, are they locked into a long-term contract with a competitor?
Honestly, understanding the hesitation is almost more critical than understanding the motivation.
Oh, completely.
If you know exactly why someone is going to say no, you can dismantle that objection directly on your landing page before they even have a chance to voice it.
Yes.
Like, if their biggest anxiety is the learning curve, your homepage shouldn't lead with a giant list of technical features.
Right. No one wants to read that.
Exactly. It should lead with a 10-second video showing how incredibly simple the onboarding process is.
Perfect. And then you have to figure out where they actually spend their time online, which is the final category of research.
Online habits.
Right. If you are targeting, say, 60-year-old procurement officers,
Okay.
spending a massive chunk of your marketing budget on a viral TikTok influencer campaign is like financial malpractice.
Oh, yeah, you're just setting money on fire.
Literally. You need to be publishing long-form thought leadership articles on LinkedIn or buying ad space in highly specific trade journals. You have to intercept them where they already have established trust.
Right. But let's get really practical here for a second about how to actually find this data.
Sure.
Because how are everyday business owners figuring out these online habits or verifying these pain points without, a massive enterprise research budget?
Well, one incredibly powerful, totally free tool is Think with Google's Consumer Insights.
Okay.
It doesn't just show you isolated search terms. It shows you the macroeconomic trends behind consumer behaviors.
Walk us through a specific use case for that. Like, how does a founder actually apply that tool today?
Okay, say you are launching a direct-to-consumer luggage brand.
Okay, luggage.
You might assume your target market is searching for, durable suitcases. But if you plug your category into Think with Google, you might uncover a massive rising trend in searches for lightweight carry-on for budget airlines.
Oh, interesting.
Or luggage with built-in laptop chargers. And you can see the geographic hotspots for these searches and the related questions people are typing in at 2 a.m.
Like, what are the new carry-on size limits for European flights?
Exactly. Google is literally handing you a ranked list of their anxieties based on actual search intent.
That is incredible.
And you combine that macro search data with micro data from your customer interviews.
Right, right.
And when you're conducting those interviews, you have to avoid leading questions. Don't ask, would you pay $20 for this feature?
Right, because everyone says yes to that.
Exactly. Ask about their past behavior instead. Tell me about the last time you bought a suitcase and what frustrated you the most.
Yeah.
The patterns emerge very quickly when you look at both the macro search trends and those micro interview responses.
So, okay, you run the surveys, you do the interviews, you pull the Google search trends.
Yeah.
But the problem I see next is that a founder ends up with a terrifying, massive spreadsheet full of percentages and overlapping complaints.
Oh, yeah. Data overload.
Exactly. And a spreadsheet doesn't inspire a product team, We have to translate that raw data into something a human team can actually rally around.
Which is where businesses need to build buyer personas.
Right.
And we have to be clear on the mechanics of this because it is not just, playing make-believe with a fictional character.
No.
You have to synthesize the raw data. You look at the 50 survey responses you got back. You highlight the overlapping complaints about weekend work or, the recurring mentions of strict IT compliance.
Yeah.
That aggregate data becomes the backbone of a specific profile.
Right, so you give that profile a name. Let's call him Enterprise Eric.
Love it.
You find a stock photo of a guy who looks like a mid-level logistics manager.
Right.
You list his job role, his daily responsibilities, and those specific pain points we just synthesized from the raw data.
Exactly.
And you also define his communication style. Like, does Eric want a deeply technical white paper? Or does he need a bulleted email summary he can easily forward to his boss?
Yeah.
You map all of that out on a single, totally digestible page.
It creates a living, breathing representation of the data.
Now, I've seen teams do this. They build the slide deck, they print out the picture of Enterprise Eric, and they actually pin it to the wall in the marketing department.
Yes, they do.
But let me play the skeptic for a moment here.
Sure, go for it.
We are adults running a profitable business. Does pinning a fake name and a stock photo to the wall actually impact the bottom line? Or is it just like corporate theater?
Oh, it absolutely protects your bottom line because it prevents operational silos. Well, in any growing business, the product development team is in one room, the marketing team is working remotely, and the sales team is out in the field.
Right.
If you hand them all a massive spreadsheet, they will interpret that data through their own departmental biases.
Oh, I see that happen all the time. The engineers will build software features, assuming the user has a background in computer science.
Exactly.
While the marketing team is running Facebook ads, assuming the buyer is a non-technical CEO.
Right. And you end up with a totally disjointed customer experience where the marketing promises simplicity, but the product delivers extreme complexity.
Yeah, that's a disaster.
Having Enterprise Eric on the wall acts as a universal filter for the entire company.
Okay, that makes sense.
Before a developer writes a line of code, they have to ask, would Eric find this dashboard intuitive?
Right.
Before a copywriter hits send on an email blast, they ask, would Eric actually open this subject line? When everyone knows exactly who they are talking to, the messaging becomes aggressively consistent.
And consistency builds trust.
Yes, and trust is what drives conversions. It stops the company's efforts from being scattered all over the place.
I look at this from a product design perspective. It's the difference between building a Swiss Army knife and building a scalpel.
Oh, that's a really great analogy.
Yeah, like if you are trying to be everything to everyone, you build a Swiss Army knife, it has a tiny blade, some honestly useless scissors, a corkscrew, maybe a toothpick.
Right.
It does dozen things adequately. It's useful in a pinch. But if you need to perform open-heart surgery...
You do not want a Swiss Army knife.
No.
Yeah.
You want a scalpel. A scalpel doesn't have a corkscrew. It does one highly specific job perfectly for a highly specialized professional.
And the companies that command the highest premiums, the ones that have the most fiercely loyal customers, they are the scalpels.
Yes.
They are unafraid to say, we don't do all those other things, but we do this one thing better than anyone else in the world, specifically for you.
Yeah.
Operationally, that scalpel mindset forces a massive shift from selling your features to providing their solutions.
Well, when you don't know your audience, you just list out your features.
You talk about yourself.
Exactly. Look at our incredible battery life. Look at our sleek design.
But when you know your target market perfectly, you stop talking about yourself. Your content, whether it's a blog post, a social media update, or like a sales email, it enters the conversation that is already happening in their head.
Right.
The ultimate goal of all of this, the content, the product design, the advertising campaigns, is to make the audience feel like they are the absolute hero of the brand's story.
And you are just the guide.
Exactly. You are the tool that helps the hero slay their specific dragon.
Let's give you a concrete way to check this operationally.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to know if you've actually made the customer the hero, go look at your website's homepage right now. Count how many times you use the words we, us, or our company versus how many times you use the word you.
That is a brilliant audit to run.
Right. Like, if your headline says, we built the fastest, most robust software in the industry, you are making yourself the hero.
Yeah.
But if it says, you can finally automate your reporting and go home at 5 p.m., the customer is the hero.
Because when the customer feels like the hero, they feel deeply understood.
Yeah.
They do not jump ship the second a competitor offers a 10% discount because the competitor doesn't understand their specific pain points the way you do.
Exactly.
They aren't just buying a product, they are buying an identity and a solution to their daily friction.
But here is a crucial reality check for anyone building a business. Understanding your target market is not a one-and-done exercise.
No, definitely not.
You don't build the enterprise Eric profile during launch week, stick it in a drawer, and assume he is going to stay frozen in amber for the next decade.
Because markets shift constantly, technologies change, new competitors enter the space, and economic pressures fluctuate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the pain points your ideal customer has today might be completely automated away by AI 3 years from now.
That's entirely possible.
And if your product is still trying to solve a problem that no longer exists, your business becomes obsolete. Knowing your audience has to become the permanent operating system for the life of the business.
Which really requires a permanent feedback loop.
Yes.
Your customer success team, the people actually fielding support tickets and talking to users every single day, they need a mechanism to feed new data back into that persona.
Right.
They need to be empowered to raise their hand and say, hey, Eric's biggest challenge isn't software efficiency anymore. Now his boss is breathing down his neck about data compliance and security.
Exactly. If you give your audience a reason to trust you by solving their initial problem perfectly, you have a responsibility to keep listening as their needs evolve.
Yeah.
When you adjust to that feedback loop, you evolve alongside your target market.
That is so true.
That is the fundamental difference between a flash-in-the-pan startup and a legacy company that scales over the long term.
It really is. It requires a courage to focus and the discipline to keep listening.
So to wrap up, we want to leave you with a challenging and maybe even slightly uncomfortable thought experiment to run with your team this week.
Yeah, take a look at your current product, your service, or even the project you are managing right now. If you had to immediately cut 80% of your customer base and focus entirely on the remaining 20%.
Wow.
Right? Like your absolute most ideal, most profitable, most aligned customers. What features would you immediately change or drop?
That's a huge question.
Because the things you would cut to exclusively serve that top 20% might just be the very things holding your business back right now.
Well, thank you all so much for spending time with the show today. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you investing it in learning how to build better businesses.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. We read every single one of them.
And don't forget, there are many more deep dives of the playbook available.
We are building a community here at Into the Margins, and there is immense value in continuing to learn from the strategies and decisions of successful entrepreneurs.
We will see you next time.
Keep building, keep refining your focus, and keep listening to your customers.